What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. This is Danelle Trains, where we talk all things health and fitness. And today I want to talk to you about a very important topic, and that's how to reduce hunger while trying to lose weight. So there's about 4 things that I really want to highlight that I'm doing to really regulate my hunger and satiety throughout this journey, because being hungry is one of the major challenges of trying to lose weight. So let's get right into it. So the number one thing that I'm doing to regulate my hunger while trying to lose weight is staying hydrated. Now, drinking a lot of water, drinking an adequate amount of water has a great many benefits to you as you try to lose weight. But today we're going to focus primarily on its benefits when it comes to reducing hunger. So one of the most common things that happens for anyone, and that's regardless, that's whether you're trying to lose weight or not, is that you confuse hunger and thirst. So most people go throughout the day and they don't know that they are in need of some hydration. You know, I don't want to go as far as saying that they're dehydrated, but a lot of people don't get an adequate amount of water each day. And sometimes when you're thirsty, you can mistake that for hunger, and people tend to eat instead of drinking something that will hydrate their bodies. So that's one way that we tend to overeat, especially when we're trying to lose weight. If we aren't hydrating properly, then it's kind of like that special type of pitted feeling in your stomach when you're dehydrated or you're thirsty and you're also hungry. So what I always try to do is drink at least 8 ounces of water if I don't really know, like I know like I just ate or something like that, and I feel like, oh, I'm still hungry. Well, I'll try drinking some water and waiting about 10-15 minutes to see if I'm actually still hungry. Another thing that I'm doing to increase my hydration is I have an alarm set up on my phone to let me know when I should have a certain amount of ounces completed. I'll put it up here on the screen somewhere. But I have an alarm for my first 24 ounces, an alarm for 48, 72, and 96. And anything I get beyond that is a bonus for me, because my goal is to drink between 50 to 60% of my body weight in ounces of water and body weight in pounds. So that is my goal. I hit that every day. I'm currently in the 170s, maybe 160s, depending on how my check-in goes tomorrow. But I am going to stick around that 96 to 120 ounces of water mark, because some days I do get more than the 4 bottles of water that I plan to get. But hydration is the number one thing that I'm doing to reduce my hunger while trying to lose weight. Okay, so the second thing that you can do to regulate your hunger while losing weight is to get an adequate amount of protein and fiber. And I'll admit, I'm telling on myself right now, this is not something that I have been really focused on at this point in my journey. I've been more focused on the calories in and calories out and hydration aspects right now, but this can be a major tool for you. And you hear about protein a lot when it comes to anything in the health and fitness industry, whether it's weight loss or building muscle or recovering from a workout. Protein is an essential nutrient for all of those things, but it also helps to increase satiety. And if you don't know what that is the feeling of fullness that you get when you eat. So when you eat high protein foods, it does help to increase that feeling of fullness, and also it helps it to last longer. And the same thing applies for fiber. So when you're eating foods that have carbohydrates in them, then you want to focus on very fibrous carbohydrates. So that would be more fibrous vegetables, of course. So leafy greens and stuff of that nature will give you more fiber, and also it takes up more physical space in your stomach. So when you think in terms of that, when you eat foods that will take up more space, have more fiber, and you're adding hydration on top of that, you are really in command of your hunger and satiety. It really puts you in a driver's seat where this is concerned, because again, being hungry is one of the things that sucks about losing weight, because oftentimes people are reducing their calories. Hopefully you're not doing it drastically to the point where it's restrictive, but you are reducing them to some point to lose weight. And initially, yes, you are gonna feel hungry, and that is a sign that, hey, you're actually you're on the right track. But you don't have to feel hungry to the point where you're miserable. You should be eating. When you eat, you should feel satisfied, and that will come with staying hydrated. And then, as I mentioned, for the second thing that you can do, getting an adequate amount of protein and fiber. So this is not something that, I want to make a recommendation of how much you should get, but the general recommendation that you can find if you just Google it is zero point 0.8 to 1.1 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or with fiber, I believe it's at least 20 grams of fiber per day for women, 30 grams for men. So if you stay around those numbers, which I try to do, then that will really help you to control your hunger. Okay, so the third thing you can do to regulate your hunger while losing weight is to consume some form of caffeine. Now, this is not something that I recommend doing like even every day. It's not something that I do every day, but there are times where I have eaten, I've ate, I've hydrated, and I still feel as though like I'm hungry, like I really want something, or I might have what's called mouth hunger, and I have a taste for something, but I know that whatever I have a taste for at that time is going to be counterproductive to my goals. So what I will do then is have some tea or coffee that has caffeine in it, because caffeine is sort of like an appetite suppressant. So consuming caffeine will really help you to control your hunger. Now, this is for a limited amount of time, and it can be a diuretic and cause you to go to the bathroom more, which will eventually cause you to, be hungry again. But this is kind of like a short-term Band-Aid fix that you can apply just at certain times. I like to do it if I'm going to drink coffee or some type of tea with caffeine in it closer to my workouts, so that I get the extra boost. So I'm actually using that burst of energy. But it's also can be effective to suppress your hunger for a limited amount of time. Okay, so the fourth and final thing that you can do to regulate your hunger while losing weight is to get an adequate amount of sleep. And this is by far, to me, the most important thing that you can do, because I feel like most people aren't doing it. So there is a lot of information that you can find about how sleep affects your hormone production. It starts with melatonin, and ultimately it spreads to your production of cortisol, leptin, and ghrelin, which control hunger and satiety. So, and also HGH, which has to do with your energy levels and motivation. So when you are sleep deprived, or you're really, a lot of studies show just getting less than 7 hours of sleep, your production of leptin and ghrelin can be affected, which will oftentimes make you feel hungrier than if you had an adequate amount of sleep. And you may even notice this, that if you stay out late one night and then when you wake up the next day, you feel famished, like you have to eat a lot. And usually when you feel that way, it's not for anything healthy. Like, you don't want fruit, you want, some like a lumberjack omelet or something like that, or some pancakes or French toast. Maybe I'm telling on myself, but that's how I felt. And the research backs it up that you have your production of leptin and ghrelin is also, even when you eat those foods, you don't really feel as satisfied unless you eat to your stuffed. And that's what often happens, is when you are sleep deprived, you will feel hungrier, and it will be harder for you to recognize when you're actually full, and you tend to overeat at that point. So you want to focus on getting 7 or more hours of sleep each night, and this will help your hormones to be better regulated. Now, it may not be perfect, because there may be other things going on, but this will at least help in that regard for your leptin and ghrelin production to be on point, so that you are, one, not feeling more hungry than you actually are, and two, so that you're able to recognize when you are actually satisfied with your meal and you can stop eating. So if you put all these things together, you put together the hydration, getting adequate protein and fiber, using caffeine sparingly to suppress your hunger, and then getting adequate sleep. This will really help you on your journey to not feel so hungry all the time, and it'll also help you to be able to recognize satiety, that feeling of fullness when you're eating, so that you're not overeating. Because I have been in a situation where I've ate and then I feel like I need to get more, but I plug it into my tracker and I see, oh wow, that would take me over my calories for the day, and you don't want to do that, because the main thing with losing weight is you need to be in a calorie deficit. So if you're not accomplishing that, that is the very basis, the very foundation for how you lose weight. And hunger can completely derail that. Not recognizing when you're full can completely derail that. So utilize these tips. Let me know in the comments if any of these tips help you, or if you've had to deal with hunger and now you want to apply some of these. Just let me know something in the comments, how you like this video, whatever. And if you got something out of this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you can know when the next one comes out. Catch you on the next video.